Hey, how's it going, guys? And welcome back to another Stock Kings YouTube video. And today we'll be going over Nano Dimension, ticker symbol NNDM. Now, they have just released some massive news as of yesterday. They have just announced that they have put their first ever product into space at the International Space Station. Now, we're going to go over how that news affects this stock and how big it is for them to be getting into the space exploration industry and how that will affect the stock moving forward. We'll also be hitting some price targets and some technical analysis on NNDM and some areas that you guys can kind of look at to get in on this stock. But before we get into any of that, if you guys like this video, please drop a like, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications so you know whenever we come out with a new video. And also, I have my Instagram link down below if you'd be interested in following that. We post new details about this channel daily, so if you want to keep up to date with this channel, please go follow that as well. But let's get into this daily chart here on NNDM. As you can see, we have a pretty big run up to about 1687, pretty big drawdown all the way to around 650. If you got in at that price, you were looking pretty good. And now we have a pretty recent run up here to almost the 50 EMA. We kind of reject off of this resistance here, and then based off the news, we are coming back up into this range at 1120, and it seems like here in the pre-market on Thursday that we are going to be coming back down just a little bit to test this support here at around 1060, 1059. But let's get right into this news here about Nano Dimension. Here, the article that we have is Nano Dimension's first ever additively manufactured electronic AME monolithic RF communications circuit has been sent to International Space Station ISS flight studies. So this is big news for Nano Dimension. Definitely something that you can look forward to this stock keep moving forward with. We talk a lot about NNDM and how they have a lot of government contracts, so it makes a lot of sense that they would send one of their products to the International Space Station. Some key highlights here. We have collaboration with L3Harris Technologies, a leading technology innovator that solves mission-critical challenges. Nano Dimension and L3Harris have created innovative methods for additive manufacturing for monolithically integrated RF systems. AME fabrication process was optimized to design and manufacture a single RF communications board for flight studies on the ISS. So this is pretty big news for Nano Dimension. It just shows how bullish this company really is. They're getting their products into space. They have a lot of different government contracts, and there is a lot of money in these government contracts. When you're talking about space, when you're talking about defense, there is a lot of money in these contracts. So it's definitely huge news for NNDM to be in these contracts and get their products into space. That's really big for them. NNDM, an industry-leading additively manufactured electronics AME PE printed electronics provider. For those of you who don't know, they do 3D printed technologies. Announced today that their first ever integrated RF circuit fabricated by Nano Dimension and designed and integrated by L3Harris has been flown to the International Space Station. This project, 2 years in the making, was selected by the ISS U.S. National Laboratory for Space Effects Studies. The project will provide a systematic analysis for an additively manufactured single board for radio frequency space systems, especially for nanosatellites, and will communicate with a ground-based satellite tracking system, an Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, Daytona Beach, Florida. The primary purpose of this project is to demonstrate the viability of using new technologies such as multi-level, multi-material AMEs, which use 3D inkjet printer-based technologies to produce monolithic RF communication systems for use in space. So these 3D inkjet printer-based technologies is something that is specifically tailored for NNDM technology. No one else in the 3D printing space has something like this or has technology similar to this. They're definitely a huge disruptor in their space. And now that they are moving into the space exploration sector, this is definitely big news for them, as those of you who know Cathie Woods and ARK Invest are creating a space exploration ETF. So with Nano Dimension moving into this space kind of area, this is definitely makes them a key candidate to be on that ETF. And we're going to go over this space ETF, ARKX. We're going to go over their SEC filing and kind of explain further why Nano Dimension would be a good candidate for this ETF. But we're going to go over right here. We have Principal Investment Strategies, and this is the SEC filing for ARKX. The advisor, Cathie Woods, believes that space exploration companies can be grouped into four overarching categories, each of which contains relevant sub-elements. Orbital aerospace companies are companies that launch, make, service, or operate platforms in orbital space, including satellites and launch vehicles. Suborbital aerospace companies are companies that launch, make, service, or operate platforms in the suborbital space, including drones, air taxis, electric aviation vehicles. Enabling technology companies are companies that create the technologies required for successful value-add aerospace operations, including artificial intelligence, robotics, 3D printing, materials, and energy storage. So obviously, a 3D printing company is one that Cathie Woods would be looking to put into her ARKX ETF. And I think NNDM, with them sending their product to space and getting on the ISS, makes them the perfect candidate for them to be on this ETF. And if they are on this ETF, you already know Cathie Woods only invests in companies that are disruptors and they move greatly. You can see the results of her past ETFs. So this just shows huge bullish sentiment for NNDM, and I could really see this stock going huge gains in the future, especially if they are put onto this ARKX ETF. That will show me huge bullish confirmations. However, this ETF is not planned to be set up for a couple of quarters, so be waiting around for that, for the announcement of ARKX, and definitely be looking for NNDM to be a part of that space exploration ETF. But let's get back to this chart here on NNDM, kind of go over some things that I'm seeing. Obviously, yesterday we have about a 8% increase based on this news that we just discussed. We come back into this zone here. However, on the pre-market, we are a little bit down. So I would expect this to come down, test the support. If we do get a bounce off the support or a rejection off the support, I would definitely be looking to take it there, get at a little bit of a lower price point, and then come up to this next resistance here at 1161. This is going to be a little tricky because we have the 50 EMA in this kind of area here as well. So that's kind of two resistance points that we'll be looking to trying to break in the long-term future. And then we'll be taking it up to about 1330 at our next resistance. And our next resistance is all the way up here for the daily or long-term trades at 1687. So if you guys are wondering why I have my resistance and support lines plotted where they are, you have to check out my last Nano Dimension video. I plot all of these and I kind of explain why I'm putting them where they are. So if you are confused, please go check that out, and I will explain why my support and resistance lines are where they are. But let's get into some more short-term trades for you guys here on NNDM. Here on the short term, we'll definitely be looking to either use the 50 EMA kind of as a resistance, which I do like. If we do get a close below, if it does come up above, we'll be using the 50 EMA as a support. So depending on where this pre-market opens, we'll be using the 50 EMA either as a resistance if it is closing below like it is now, or a support if it closes above. And if it does close below, we'll be looking to come back down into this support here at 1056 and then take it up to our new resistance at 1089. If we get a break above there, we'll be looking to take it up to our next resistance at 1161, and based on previous price action, we actually get a break above 1161 here. However, we could only go up to there, so that shows us even more another resistance point here at 1226. So this is kind of the resistances that we'll be looking at for a short-term trade. Considering that this is the pre-market is below this resistance line here, we're going to kind of chart it based on that fact. However, this may change. There is quite a bit of time, about an hour and a half until market opens, so there is time for that to change. However, with what we have now, we're going to be basing it off that. We'll be waiting for this to come back down, test the support, strong confirmations to reject off of this and be taking it there. Just like this candle here showed a strong confirmation bouncing up, you would be taking it there. To kind of show us that we will be coming up to this next price target here with stops just below our support. So if it does go below the support, we'll be wanting to get out of that position at that time, and then we'll be taking it to our next area of resistance here. Excuse me. Here at 1161. So if I can zoom out a little bit to kind of show you guys a little better. So we have a lot of definitely a lot of price action coming up to and bouncing off the support. So make sure you are taking partial profits at these resistance points to reduce your position, and then further reduce your risk as well. So we'll have a pretty big stop loss at this point. And then we'll be looking to just put it again just below this support line here, just to kind of make sure that if it does continue to go and break this support, making a resistance, that we are taking out of our position at a gain. We don't want to enter any drawdown. If we left our support below this, we would put ourselves at risk at losing some money, and we don't want that to happen, guys. Moving forward to our next price target, we have here at 1126, kind of following the same pattern here. We'll be moving price up to this point here. Waiting for good, strong confirmations to break above. And again, we are reducing our position, taking partial profits at this time. And again, trailing our stop loss based on either a percentage of your position or based on candle positions as well. You could do that as well. And then our final take profit would be here at the 1320. However, if you are more long-term bullish, you could leave some runners, let them go, as we do have previous price action in this area. So it is not terrible for you guys to leave some runners keep them going if you are doing a short-term trade. We would then move price up to here and continuously trail our stop loss just below this kind of zone here. Just to make sure that if it does again drop in below this support, that we are taken out of our position to protect our accounts. But I think that is all the information that I had for you guys here on NNDM for today. However, if you did find value in this video, please drop a like, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications so you know whenever we come out with a new video. And I also have my Instagram link down below if you'd be interested in following that. But anyways, guys, I hope you have an excellent day. Get some gains in the market today. Good luck, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.